Michael from Ritter's Nursery here. I got so excited this morning. I came home from the store, my bag of groceries, and I'm at the back door walking inside, and then I hear behind me, vit, 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 and I turned and looked, and there is a hummingbird at my feeder. It is what is today? January 24th, 23rd? Hummingbirds. We have hummingbirds in Spokane, right this very second. Now, if you've ever been to Seattle in the winter, you have probably seen they have hummingbirds over there all year round. It's a variety called Anna's hummingbirds. And many years ago, they used to only exist in Southern California up to the Bay Area. But over the decades, they have moved further and further and further north. Not necessarily because the climate's getting warmer, but they have figured out that where people live, they can find niches to survive. And they've been established in the Seattle area for maybe 30 years or so. A few years ago, people on our side of the mountain started noticing them. There was an article in the paper a few years back about a couple in the valley that had Anna's hummingbird coming to their feeder. They'd forgotten to take it down in November. And I thought, well, this is kind of cool, and then I forgot about it. Well, this last November, I was sitting at the computer, and all of a sudden, right outside, I see the flowers of this fuchsia that hadn't frosted yet. We're kind of moving around, and I looked, and it's hummingbird. It's November 4th or something like that. And it was bigger than the ones that we usually get. I usually get calliope's, because, you know, the other ones, like the rufous and the black chin, they're kind of like out in the country. Calliope's do well in the city. So anyway, there it is. Chin, black chin, and I thought, Anna's. And I looked up male Anna's hummingbird, and I says, yeah! And so from then, I kept going out, keeping my feeder stocked with the syrup. It's a little stronger in the winter, so it doesn't freeze. But I would do this off and on throughout the winter, and I didn't know if I was getting them or not. Sometimes I'd notice that the level was going down, and well, maybe the wind was doing it and all that, and I kept crossing my fingers. So this morning, there she is, a female Anna. So I had at least a boy and a girl. So they are here. They are here. Now, I live in the city. If you live out Deer Park, places like that, maybe you won't have these. Because Anna's hummingbirds, they like the urban environment because they can find all kinds of little niches, places where it's warmer, like in the foliage close to a house. They can roost there overnight, come out of torpor, which is a kind of a daze they go into at night. And then, I mean, it was 29 degrees when I saw her this morning. And most of the nectar in the feeder, it's only about this deep, was frozen, but she could still get enough. You know, so of course, as soon as she was gone, oh, by the way, I'm sitting there, oh, picture. I thought, so I grabbed my stupid little flip phone here, prehistoric flip phone here, and I'm opening it up and says, how do I make the camera work? I could not remember. And meanwhile, she's going, So finally I figured it out, and I got a crappy picture, really, that you can't even see anything but her back end. And so anyway, I do have photographic proof if you don't believe me. I do have a picture. Anyway, she flew off, so I grabbed the feeder and I took it in, ran around the house, grabbed the other feeder, brought it in, thawed them out, refilled them with the syrup, hung them back outside, and then I thought, oh, come back. And I'm watching my watch, it says, come on, I gotta go to work. And so now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably standing there watching the feeder. If you live in the urban area and you like hummingbirds, why not take a chance? Maybe they're around, maybe they'll spot you. You know, they are here in the summertime too, you know, so hummingbirds, they mark your territory. If they remember you had food, they're gonna come back and see you. You know, so they might be around. So get your feeders out, get ready. Okay, this is an example, one of the more common types of hummingbird feeders, and mine operates on this sort of a principle. There's a reservoir up here, and then the little visitation booths down here. So you'd fill it up, you don't want too much at this time of the year, because you're going to be taking it in at night, okay? So that it can thaw out and warm up overnight, and then in the morning, you know, as soon as it gets light, you get it back out there, because they get up early sometimes, these girls. And just hang it where you can see it. Now, some people will go to the trouble to warm these up, and you can do a number of different ways. a string of incandescent miniature Christmas lights you could wrap around it, and that can generate enough heat to keep it from freezing. Or a heat lamp like you would use if you were growing reptiles in your house. Something like that. That'll warm it up, keep it from freezing, then you can leave it out. Or just do what I do, just don't forget. Bring it in when it's dark, take it back out before it's light. So if we can get these to establish here, I think that'd be so cool. Now, some people said, isn't that a bad idea? Aren't you discouraging them from migrating? Annas don't migrate. They're not like the calliopes and the rufous and the other hummingbirds we have. They don't go south for the winter. Those hummingbirds aren't going to stay, no matter what you do. Beg, plead, whatever. They're not staying. When the days get short enough, they're out of here. The Annas don't migrate. And so you're actually, maybe by leaving your feeders out into the fall and winter, doing the migratory ones a favor, because you're giving them another chance to really fatten up before they make the trip. So what was she eating before I replenished my feeders? Well, bugs. Believe it or not, there are a lot of bugs flying around. You can go out almost any day. Sunny days are easier to see them, and you'll see these little clouds of bugs that are like going around like this. You know, they will dive bomb. They call them hawking, and they fly in and just snatch them out of the air. So protein and moisture right there. Berries, oftentimes they have enough moisture in them and sugar that they can get some from that. You know, and then people like me who are leaving their feeders out now. Leave your feeders out. Just change them periodically, just like you do in the summertime. Try to keep them from freezing one way or the other. Let's see if we can build up these populations. Seattle doesn't need to have everything. We deserve something. Alrighty? Thank you.